Hello class, Mr. Geisler here. Today we're going to talk about the domain of a function, the range of a function, and behavior of a function. A function is something f of x equal to something, okay? So it's a function of x, and we know it as y. Another way of looking at f of x is y in regular algebra. So the domain is all the x values in a function f of x. Okay? The range is all values that are output from the domain. And another name we use for the range is f of x. And the end behavior is what happens as x increases to f of x. So if we look at a graph, for example, okay, we have the y-axis and the x-axis, okay? And the lowest point that it goes is to 2, 2. We could say that the domain here, what could x be? What can the values of x be? Well, you could see that as this goes on, x can go on forever and ever in that direction, or x can go on in that direction. So the domain here is all real numbers. Okay? Another way of saying that is it goes this way, which is negative infinity, okay, to positive infinity, okay? Negative infinity is all the negative numbers to the left, positive infinity is to the right. So we go from negative infinity, oh, I'm sorry, that's not the range, that's the domain. Another way of writing this is to say from negative infinity to positive infinity. And this is called interval notation. This is an interval of numbers, okay? The range is the y values, okay? All the values of the output, the domain, which is f of x, which is also known as y, okay? The range here, okay, is going to be how low or how high these can be. Well, as you can see, 2, 2, the y value is 2, so the lowest it can go is 2. And how high can it go? It goes up forever and ever. So it goes from 2 to positive infinity. So I'm going to write this in interval notation, and I'm going to use a little bracket here to show that it stops at 2, okay, and it goes on to positive infinity, okay? This means that it stops here. This kind of bracket means it stops here. This kind of bracket means it goes on forever and ever. Finally, what's the end behavior? Okay, and that's what happens as x increases to the function. So as x increases or decreases, what happens to f of x? Okay, it basically goes on to positive infinity. So f of x increases, okay, and it goes on to positive infinity, okay, right? So that's what we would say for looking at a graph, the domain, the range, and the end